Hi, it's Brandon Spillane from ThirstGym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the Sumo Deadlift into Pins. This is a great isometric exercise. It's going to help you break through your sticking points of your deadlift, so hopefully you can get a PR. What you're going to need is you are going to need a rack that we're able to set pins up, but you're going to be able to set the pins up so that you can get the bar in between basically two pins. This rack from Elite FTS is awesome, and this is one of the great uses that we have for this particular rack. If you don't have this, one other option you might have is to basically put the weight plates up on some blocks and then set your pins at a normal standpoint. So you just have a regular rack. You can just put your pins wherever you wanted them, and then that can help you kind of figure out how to pull into those pin positions. It is going to be a little bit trickier, and you also will need to make sure that the pins can go low enough on your rack. So there are some logistics, but so long as you can do that, I think you're going to be fine. Now, what works great about this is that the isometric piece that we're doing is we're constantly creating tension into the sticking point or right around or below it. So ideally, you're going to set this up so that it's right below your sticking point. So the fact that you're going to have to continue to pull in to an area where you normally slow down. The ideology behind this is the fact that you're creating more force into that area and you're spending more time in that weak area, and therefore you're going to strengthen those joint angles, so when you actually go to pull that maximum deadlift on the platform or in training, you're hopefully going to blow through that because you've already spent more time and you're stronger at that particular joint angle. So that's what's nice. This works great for you individually because you can put it exactly where you need it. Now, I've got this set up here in my rack. My suggestion when it comes to the loading parameters is to not to exceed about 60 or 70%. Anything past that, you're really going to find that you're not being able to create as much force into the pins as you can. The weight's going to be too heavy, and you're going to be kind of missing and pulling into that pin. Now, with that being said, you've also got to pull long enough, and typically I like using the triphasic ideology from Cal Dietz. I think 6 seconds of pulling into the pins is a great spot. It is long enough that it's going to really suck, but it's short enough that you're not going to have to make it suck any worse than what it is. So I'm going to show you how this is. You're basically going to take your normal sumo deadlift stance. You're just going to do all the mechanics the same, just like you're doing like a pin pull or a block pull with that stance. And then what you're going to do is we're going to pull into the pins as hard as we can, and we're going to hold that. I'm just going to hold it for a brief period of time. I'm not going to hold it for the full 6 seconds, but it'll give you an idea of what we're looking for. And basically we're going to try to pull into that pin and then back down. So set everything up. Just like that, okay? So that just being 135, that sucked, okay? That was not fun. I could definitely feel my hips, even my low back was having to make sure that it was strong in that position, because as you're pulling, you're naturally gonna kind of want to round to be able to try to, again, when you simulate that, you're basically rounding because you're weak in that area and you're trying to get your glutes through. This is gonna basically give you that feedback that you need to keep everything stacked and strong while you're pulling and not let everything get crumbled over or being able to compensate. The only pitfall about this execution is that as we do this, we can technically lean backwards, which you wouldn't do that in a meet. You wouldn't be leaning back so far like this. You'd be actually trying to kind of pull up and back, but drive your glutes towards the bar, where this is almost kind of teaching you to lean back. So the biggest thing is to make sure you're not leaning back to create that tension into the pins. The big thing is to make sure that you're still continuing to pull in your normal pulling pattern and pretending like you're trying to get your glutes into the bar just like you would lock it out at a meet or in training. So that is the logistics and pretty much how you would do the exercise. When it comes to programming, I already kind of talked about this a little bit, but the big thing is about 6 seconds into the pins, and then you're only going to do singles or some cluster singles. So you might do a single pull for 6 seconds, take about 30, 40 seconds break, go again, go again. Then what ideally you would do is pair this with an actual sumo deadlift from the floor and then using around the same load that you're using here. So let's say, for example, I'm using 135 today. I would basically set 135 up on the platform. After doing, say, my 3 cluster singles of pulls, I'm going to walk over and take that 70% or 135, what have you, pull it as fast as I can, and then I'm done. The key thing there is that, one, you're still going to be training in the full range of motion. But as you've spent so much time in that joint angle trying to create force there, that when you actually go to pull the weight off the floor, you're going to blow through that sticking point. You're going to be able to feel the benefits that you got from that. And then by doing that weeks upon weeks, then I think you're going to find that you're going to blow through that sticking point really well. So that's sumo deadlifting into pins in a nutshell. A lot of good things about this exercise. Again, the only pitfall is the logistics of actually being able to set it up. But if you've got the ability to do it, I think this is a great way to blow through that sticking point in your sumo deadlift. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.